And with those different views come definite dangers. This morning, jail deputies found a man unconscious here at the jail in his cell. This is a party at the Adorni Center. For all the volunteers it took to make Jazz Fest a possibility, some of these racers built high-speed machines, but for some others, these contraptions run step by step. Most of these burglars aren't getting by any expensive locks or fancy alarm systems. They're simply breaking their way into these businesses and taking anything valuable they find inside. But it's a good thing most of the business owners realize they shouldn't keep cash lying around. Good evening, and thanks for watching News Channel 3 this Sunday night. I'm Charlie Woods. A plan by the National Park Service limiting access to the coastline near Eureka has visitors angry and the local community ready to fight. A large protest today shows they aren't taking those changes sitting down. Nothing like a great day at the beach. Visitors from near and far enjoy this strip of coastline in California's Redwood National Park, and now they're fighting to keep it free.
It's important because this is the last free beach on the coast of California. This place operated 45 years out here on this beach with no problems, and now the parks come in and try and shut it down.
The National Park Service plans to gate the beach off, charge visitors for access, and keep people from parking overnight.
The park is looking into such things as view shed, looking into safety things, environmental concerns.
That fires up the beach lovers.
We have had no problem whatsoever with the beaches. Why do you want to change it now?
This is public land, and it should be for our use, and it's not government land, it's public land. I would like to see it stay that way.
And this especially upsets residents of nearby Eureka, who rely on the tourists.
Without them, the town's going to have a real hard time.
We lived here, and if they don't let the campers stay here, then they're taking my family's business away, not to mention tons of other people.
They come every year. They're part of the town. And it's very, very difficult to say you can't come here anymore. You could stay here during the day, but you have to leave at night.
Some campers already support the park financially through donations.
$10, $15, and then every day, because that's what it would cost us if we went to a park.
Visitors say they keep it beautiful.
We've been coming here 35 years. 35 years and no problems. We always keep it clean and take care of things. We want to keep it that way.
That's why they aren't keen on the plan to limit their beach freedoms.
And if they take away the beach, that'll be screwed up because it's just, this is all we have left. And this is all that we get left, I guess.
Virtually the whole town of Eureka shut down today during the demonstrations. Petitions addressed to the state attorney general are available through business owners in town. For Lauren and Merla Manuel, there is no sacrifice too great.
My husband needs a kidney transplant, and I've offered to donate mine.
She's a giver. She's always giving. And now she's giving me her kidney.
Lauren's kidneys failed a few months ago, and before Merla is able to donate hers, he performs dialysis at home.
I'll fill myself up with the fluid again. And that goes for between 4 and 6 hours. Then after 6 hours, then I do it again.
It takes it real out of him. He's tired most of the time and sick a lot of the times.
The surgery is expensive. Even with insurance, it could cost the Manuels $10,000. Lauren is unable to work, so Merla is giving 200%.
Right now I'm working 5 jobs, and we're doing fundraisers to try to raise enough money to pay for the transplant. And
I've seen her go to work at 5 a.m. in the morning at one job, get off at noon, and then go to wards and work until 8:30 at night. So it's like she's busting her buns for me.
At times it gets tiring. I don't get to see my husband and my daughter as much as I like, but I don't mind it as long as it's going to help him.
Their doctor expects the surgery to go smoothly.
It's a life-saving gift, a wonderful gift, and I think that the Manuels are handling it very appropriately, and they're looking forward to the future.
But as the transplant date gets closer, their apprehension is rising.
I'm getting a little, as it gets closer, I'm getting more and more scared.
It would be one of the hardest things that a person would have to go through, but you have to go through it to stay alive.
And alive they are, alive with spirit, alive with hope, and alive for each other.
It's great. It feels great that I can do this for him. I was afraid when I first offered it to him that we wouldn't be able to work it out, but I just, the thought of losing him outweighs anything I could offer, it just, I just can't see living without him in my life.
How do you feel about your wife?
I love her.
We just love each other. We're best friends as well as in love with each other.
From McKinleyville, this is Charlie Woods reporting in the spirit of the North Coast. It's almost 5 o'clock on Friday. Let's see if we can get some reservations for this busy weekend. I thought we'd try a place a little high class first. How you doing? My name's Charlie. Do you have any rooms tonight?
Welcome to the Carter House Victorians. My name's Tanya. Yes, we have our honeymoon cottage across the street, king bed, fireplace, jacuzzi.
How much is that?
$497.
Is that all you have?
I'm afraid so. We were sold out in January.
Wow. That's a little steep. Thanks a lot. I think we'll move on.
You're very welcome. We don't have nothing cheaper.
On the way to the next place, I thought I'd see if people driving and flying into town were prepared for this lack of lodging. And did you have any problem finding a place to stay?
No. We made reservations back in November.
When did you book this room?
Well, I booked it, honestly, about 7 months ago.
Oh, I would hate to be scrambling for a place right now. It looks pretty full. We saw a lot of people on the road.
So you're big on getting things ahead of time?
Oh, unfortunately, it used to drive my wife nuts.
Well, most people seem all right, except... So what's up with trying to get a room tonight?
Well, they're all full because of the graduation. So room isn't to be had except the rooms maybe that I wouldn't have. So
let's try a place that suits my pocketbook a little better. Do you have any rooms for the night?
Unfortunately, we're all booked up this evening.
And how about the weekend?
We're all booked up for the weekend. We do have some openings on Sunday.
Why so busy?
It's Humboldt State graduation this weekend. There's also a softball tournament going on up at Humboldt.
Well, not much luck finding a place to stay. Let's see if we can get something to eat.
All right, how about next year? The first reservation for graduation weekend of 2000 we took last September 9th.
What do you think for a table for two at 8?
That would depend on how much money you have in your pocket, sir. It's graduation? I didn't know that. No wonder why we're so busy. Now it's making sense.
Right, it's all making sense now, and I think it's about time to give up. Well, I managed to find a place to sit down, and the food here is not too bad. I'm just glad all the visitors to Humboldt County found a comfortable place to enjoy their weekend. As for me, this bench is comfy enough. In Arcata, Charlie Woods, News Channel 3.
It's the best job in the world.
Claire Burke isn't just pushing pizza. She's dancing her way into fame on Highway 101.
I've worked in other stores down south and other stores I've gone by, but she is probably the best I've seen.
Yeah, she gets everybody's attention, the way she dances around out there.
And her secret? The tunes.
I listen to a lot of disco when I'm out here because that helps a lot, and a lot of really great 80s tunage.
You like to dance, obviously.
Oh, I love to dance.
But where'd you learn how to dance?
The Mickey Mouse Club.
I don't think the Mickey Mouse Club shakes her booty quite like that.
Well, I mixed in some of my own moves.
This isn't a full-time gig yet. Claire gets grooving for just 3 hours a night. Here's a look between the headphones. But what's next for this new street sensation? You're going to Oregon State next year. You going to take any dance classes there?
I think that I should teach a dance class there.
We know her resume is a winner.
Well, now I can say that I've danced on Broadway.
Actually, another reason we came in here is to ask about a raise for her. Is that possible?
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. I'll send in the paperwork tomorrow with the rest of the paperwork.
Good. More of my favorite stories are coming up in just 5 seconds. What's at the Humboldt Folklife Festival?
Real folk music.
And what's folk music?
Lonely, I've cheated. Baby, what you do to me, hey.
It just depends on what kind of folk you are.
I like the empowerment that folk music gives to people at the grassroots level, you know. People look at it and say, hey, I can do that.
This weekend at Del Arte Theater School, the audience gets free lessons. Eric is teaching slide guitar. And Jim is sliding for the first time.
It looks like it'll be fun to take home and use.
Elsewhere, students learned a different kind of slide. Oh, I know you like this part.
Oh yeah, I love it. This is great fun.
Dance is loud, music is loud. Everybody have to dance. Don't forget.
Teacher's really great. He's so enthusiastic.
To say the least. This is making music from scratch. Have you ever made a drum before? First time for everything. Even outside of class, the atmosphere raised rhythm from the souls. You got your own rhythm going there?
Oh yeah, are you kidding? I'm enjoying it. It's great.
All sorts of people coming to do all sorts of things.
And all different instruments.
And let me see sunshine.
It's a chance to hear, you know, the spirit and the music of the people.
You'll have a hard time seeing more spirit in one place. And speaking of parties, if you were inside of the highway in the past couple days, you couldn't have missed all the Harleys on the road. Most were headed to one place where going hog wild is a way of life.
Are we having fun yet?
It appears so. Over 5,000 bikers rode to Piercy, California for the Redwood Run, a weekend of music, food, drink, and celebration, all centered around America's motorcycle.
It's a 47 UL, 74 cubic inch.
Coos Bay, Oregon, 65 pan hit, suicide clutch. 57 straight leg.
It's a chopper, baby.
Just people having an extremely good time, better than I've ever seen. This is a fantastic year for the event.
I've been coming up here for 19 years. It's one of the old-time biker events, not the new Street Vibrations type. It's a camp out, have a good time, and do whatever you want to do type event.
The power and the torque of them, it's the noise, it's the camaraderie with all these people that you see back here. You know, the stereotypical biker.
It's not just your stereotypical biker here.
There's people here from all different walks of life. What are you doing, Chico, again?
Hospital maintenance.
I work at a medical ultrasound company. I'm a train driver, a locomotive engineer. I work for the railroad.
Santa Cruz.
What do you do down there?
I got a motorcycle shop down there.
I'm the fire chief in Soledad.
Yeah, what do you do? What do you do for a living?
Drive truck.
Where are you from?
San Jose.
We come to all the motorcycle events. We are Christians, and we promote the gospel of Jesus Christ to bikers.
The typical modern day biker is a professional, lawyer, doctor, computer engineer. I believe he has a medium income about $65,000 a year.
These motorcycle riders come from all over, and I do mean all over.
That's my bike here. I shipped it over from Germany. And
are there a lot of Harleys in Germany?
Sure. Sometimes I think more than here.
See, bikers put forth a lot of effort to get here and make things happen.
That's why I work, to support my bikes and my biking.
I modified it to shift it with my knees, and I brake with my knees, and I walk with my knees. What else can I tell you?
And nobody's questioning if all that effort is worth it.
Join the sun, it's a gorgeous day.
What's my favorite part about it? The happy faces.
I like that Harley from Germany. The Redwood Run raises hundreds of thousands of dollars for the Kiwanis Club, who organize the event, and dozens of other local charities. Local businesses expect to reap $1.5 million from all the visitors this weekend to the North Coast. And coming up next on your weekend news at 11, an event at the Adorny Center helped to raise money to end hunger this afternoon. We'll have that story. Plus,
good old oysters, you're so fine. Gonna go to the store, make you mine.
why do you think people like oysters so much?
They're just good for you.
Aphrodisiac. They make you feel really good. Whole Arcata Plaza full of people feeling really good. Yeah.
Try it out. Got to put them in the back of your throat and hope you never really taste them. Pretty good?
We're the best shuckers on the plaza, too. Hey! Is that a caliber that you only see in professional sports? My name's Bonner, Steve Bonner.
What's your name?
Steve.
Tell me your name.
Steve Moore.
Okay, Steve's gonna feed me an oyster here from Aqua Rodeo Farms. Let's see how it tastes.
Nice.
Spicy and nice.
Humboldt Bay is a producer of approximately 70% of all oysters consumed in the state of California.
We were too busy working today. It's been a very tough day. We use Humboldt oysters. We use sauce made in Humboldt. We use alder wood that was cut on my land, grown in Humboldt.
All right, let's try one.
Yes!
Big and messy. Good.
You came to the right place.
Homegrown.
Hot. Cilantro?
Cilantro pesto.
Different sauce. Masterpiece.
You shuck them, you suck them, and you eat them raw.
Yes, ma'am.
Just not really an oyster eater.
Because I don't like them. They taste funny. I hate them.
Why?
They're gross.
I don't see a lot of kids eating oysters.
They just taste good.
Very nice. What do you think of that?
Oh, gotta have the mustard.
On the nose?
On the nose.
Basically, I'm a big oyster lover, so down the hatch.
Literally.
Literally.
And I can't let him leave me far behind.
Oh, listen, mine were so good. They had bacon and some kind of butter sauce.
Well, you gotta wear safety gloves, right?
Yep, otherwise he'll jab your hand like that guy.
Yeah, some of these oysters are pretty tough, so it's kind of a big fight against nature.
They're very sensual animals. You've got to coax them up like a kitten.
Much closer to home, the stands were full of fans today for the Autorama's Burnout Contest in Fortuna. Burning rubber may be bad for your health, but apparently, for some people, it warms the soul, or at least the eardrums. For some, Autorama is for show. Look at all the pretty cars. But in the Burnout Contest,
Noise is the best.
what do you like about the smoke?
The smell.
Loudest, too.
A lot of smoke.
Okay, what's the strategy here?
Strategy is haul keep them tires moving.
The burnouts were judged in 4 categories: noise, smoke, driver enthusiasm, and crowd response. How does the dog like the smoke?
She don't like it. I gotta take her to the bathroom and get some water.
The crowd liked it the most when something broke.
Hey, is it all worth it for the tire?
Oh, yeah. Didn't cost me nothing for that tire.
Some drivers were very calm considering their surroundings. Nice work. You used to all that smoke?
Oh, yeah. Go drag racing all the time.
Others were more fired up.
65 Chevy Pound with a big block. If that don't get them going, nothing will.
And even though the burnouts were hard on the lungs, they appealed to the young at heart.
It's better if they have wide tires because it causes more smoke.
I just like watching it. I like seeing the tires just spin and squeal and make all the noises.
This is cool. Ripping it up, man.
I like that guy, ripping it up, man. Here's the winners. Jan Jorgensen in street stock with his 68 Chevelle. Jason Belt in 6 cylinders with the beat-up Corolla that you saw there, had a big gold 8-cylinder in there. And Robert Hastings in the pickup class. And Jim Yates with the 68 yellow Camaro. And when we come back, Mark Dembski will probably have some more questions for me about the big burnout contest. But he'll also have his weekend sports wrap-up for you. Stay with us. Moving on, 19-year-old Jared Devane of Hydesville was thrown out of the back of a truck and is still in the hospital this evening. The truck, driven by an 18-year-old Fortuna man, was going about 25 miles an hour down Carson Road. Devane fell out of the pickup and sustained major head injuries. He was taken to Redwood Hospital for treatment, then transferred this evening to St. Joseph's. Moving on, there is no relief in sight for high gas prices these days, and a couple of oil companies seem to be making sure of that. Equilon and Tosco have both placed limits on how much gasoline can be bought by wholesalers on the West Coast to prevent stockpiling as those gas prices rise. Officials from the companies say they charge the wholesalers an extra 30 cents a gallon when purchases exceed those limits. And it's not the 4th yet, but you may have already heard fireworks going off here on the North Coast. They're for sale all over town, but that doesn't mean anything goes when it comes to using them. News Channel 3's Katie Marzullo now tells us that even legal fireworks can be hazardous.
If her accomplishment doesn't inspire us all, nothing can. That's your weekend's best.
That is absolutely amazing.
Isn't it?
Like every few months you hear something that someone with that kind of disability does. It just blows me away. People here in Northern California have been hearing calls of the Sasquatch for years.
To me, these things, they have to exist.
Willow Creek is a mecca for tales of the monstrosity we call Bigfoot, and now they have their own tribute, a museum with molds of the creature's tracks and tales of those who've tangled with the beast themselves. To many folks, Bigfoot is just a legend, but for the people who assembled these artifacts, the creature is much closer to reality.
They are taking making a definite effort to make this a serious research center.
These men are serious.
I got involved in 1957.
John Green is as close as one can be to an expert on this phenomenon.
We're actually using it for a publicity stunt to start with. But then we began to realize that we were dealing with people telling what seemed to be real stories. Once you've seen the footprints, that changes the whole picture.
This anthropologist from Idaho State University agrees.
There's a lot of evidence that suggests that there is something leaving footprints.
A local wilderness guide is another believer. So what's out there?
Something big, something just absolutely incredible. I've heard their calls, and it goes something like this.
The museum is a boost for this tiny town.
It has kind of put Willow Creek on the map again.
And how many people believe in the Sasquatch around here?
I would say it's about 50-50.
So now we all have a place to go when our curiosity is not satisfied by tall tales and tabloid speculation. But be careful. Many who have tested this land of thick forest and sparse population have been forced to ask themselves,
does such an animal exist?
Good evening, everybody, and thanks for watching News Channel 3's Weekend Edition. I'm Charlie Woods. A little more than an hour ago, a police officer's vehicle collided with a woman who was riding a bicycle on I Street in Eureka. The woman, whose name has not been released, was riding the bike with a man when Officer Honeycutt drove into the intersection of I and Henderson. The officer struck the bike, and the woman apparently suffered a broken leg. The man riding with her was fine. The woman was taken to General Hospital, and Officer Cipriano also says this should serve as a warning to always wear protective gear when riding a bicycle, especially at night. And on a lighter note tonight, a unique tradition is underway on the North Coast, the Kinetic Sculpture Race. It's a race where the winners are not necessarily the ones who finish first, but those who have the most fun. We visited the kickoff today in Arcata to show you this year's creative contraptions.
They're out of control! It's pandemonium!
Talk about a tough job. How about being a kinetic sculpture racer? Position 5 back here?
Position 5, that's me.
Well, it's the Kinetic Camaro. I'm the co-pilot. This is Steve, the builder.
This is my first year actually piloting. Last year I was a peon.
I'm going to fly over them. Fly over the competition. Pedal like hell.
It definitely takes talent to travel kinetically, and some positions require special skills.
Make all the noise I can to drive the wing nuts. That's my job.
I am the official tail holder of the recurring nightmare of the iguana. Yes, sir.
Okay, so how did you get this job?
I had to fight for it.
What do they call me now? The Kinetic Secret Service. And I was mean to the crowd this time.
Speed is a factor here, but winning takes strategy, kinetically conniving strategy.
The strategy is to move forward, cheat when we can, and ace.
We just cheated really bad, and we got caught. And they took a large photograph of us and held it up in front of everybody.
How did you cheat?
Very nicely.
Bribes are good.
Bribes are good.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Distractions are good. You know, get the officials looking over there.
I can't imagine you distracting anyone.
I wouldn't do that.
Some of these racers built high-speed machines, but for some others, these contraptions run step by step. Now that's kinetic. I hope they all make it to the finish line.
We call it the overnight revolution.
And when did you finish it?
Well, the welds are still hot.
I think we're done.
These guys broke down before the race even started. Good thing this event is all about having fun. Tell me how your hat coincides with this event.
The hat? Oh, I don't know really.
It's about 30 gallons to the mile.
I think it's a blast. It's the greatest thing to have a lot of fun, just laughing with everybody.
And we're expecting to have tons of fun.
Hey, you were supposed to stop back there!
Charlie.
You're Charlie?
I'm Charlie.
That's my favorite name.
Oh, cool. Mine too.
And tomorrow we'll see how those racers handle their sculptures across the water as they loop around Humboldt Bay. The race resumes tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Kinetic time at the Bayshore Mall. And straight ahead on your news at 11, health news for families to help them save the lives of loved ones in an emergency. Plus a Coast Guard welcome today as they open their doors to the public. We'll be right back. In a sport dominated by men, this duo stands out in the crowd.
He was standing out in front of his house. I drove by and he saw me.
Lauren and Mendy have been dating for 6 months, and their common interest keeps their gears turning.
I bought mine a couple weeks ago.
A couple weeks ago?
Yeah, she has another one too. I used to just ride hers, but then I finally got my own.
Mendy's had her bikes for a while. In fact, the other one is just for drag racing.
She's into racing and stuff like that, so this is her kind of thing.
I raced my other bike, actually, and then I raced my car. Trying to get him to race his.
Some might think this relationship is moving a little too fast.
Fastest I've ever been on one was like that, when 165.
It's about 165?
I was on the back, though. That's crazy.
About 15 minutes after I bought this one, I had it up to 140.
But if it wasn't for their love of the street, things would be moving pretty slow.
Probably watching movies at my house. We don't really do much else.
It's fun, just some way to feel free and get out and express yourself.
Because of their need for speed, Mindy and Lauren have to watch their step a little more than most couples do.
If everybody had bikes, we wouldn't be as cool. And then if they did have one, I told them to be really careful because it's a lot more dangerous than any other vehicle.
So after a normal courtship,
she stalked me.
These two lovebirds are keeping the spark alive and the spark plugs firing up the street. Sunny, lows in the mid to upper 40s and highs in the upper 50s to lower 60s. What do you think of that?
Well, fine.
Colin likes rain. That's good.
Yeah, well, used to it, right? Pretty much.
We are used to it. We are used to it. Coming from the same area and everything where we have our highlights from tonight.
Yes, we do have
I didn't mean to give anything away.
A little hint there, but that's good. That's a good thing.
Yeah,
we'll talk about, we talked about them last weekend, actually, the Mariners, Seattle.
That's right.
Well, they're back, obviously.
Rodriguez, Mariners weekend's best 2 weeks in a row.
I know, it's, I don't mean to do it, but it just keeps coming up.
Right, right. We believe you.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you, Colin. And thanks, everybody, for watching. How long has it been since you saw the doctor?
I've seen the doctor for quite a while myself. I mean, I avoid it.
Years?
Big time. Yeah, years.
10 years since I've been.
How many?
Bob's sitting here trying to figure. I guess about 12.
My shoulder's been bothering me for about a year, and I haven't got to the doctor yet. And
Now, a national study shows these men are not alone. In the past year, 1/4 of men surveyed had not seen a doctor, and more than half had not had a physical exam or cholesterol test.
Basically, when I'm in an accident, it's the only time I go see the doctor.
Eureka's Dr. Weimer is a witness to that trend.
Most of the men that come into the office here have a specific problem or a specific question in mind, and I don't routinely see men come in just for a routine health examination.
What was Joe's specific problem?
I had the flu, had to go in so I could get me a slip so I can miss a few days of work.
The study also showed that 1/3 of men over 50 have not been screened for colon and prostate cancer, possibly lethal diseases that require early detection to be treated.
Well, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, and the only problem here is that there really is no cure for heart attacks, strokes, peripheral vascular disease, diabetic complications. But the only way we can prevent them is to pick up the disease process in its earliest stage.
Now, I'm just as bad about seeing the doctor as the next guy, but what Dr. Weimer says is important is that one has a regular family practitioner who can identify their symptoms. And guys, you shouldn't rely on your wives to nag you into the doctor's office either.
I can say that about my husband.
What can you say about your husband?
That I nag at him too, that he needs to do that, which he did do, but only after constant nagging on my part.
Eureka, this is Charlie Woods for News Channel 3.
I didn't even know it was National Karaoke Week until tonight.
I don't want you to thank me. You can just
It's all those shower singers and closet singers come out, and they're a star for the night.
Yeah, I need more alcohol first.
It makes them relax a little bit more and enjoy it more. They have fun, let's put it that way. When they're singing and dancing, they're out having fun. A lot of people need some liquid encouragement.
How many have you had? Was that your first beer?
I've never done karaoke before. So. We're the next Dixie Chicks. Better watch out.
But you don't have to have talent to do karaoke, and I'd like to stress that.
We're singing Amore. That's Amore.
I like a big pizza pie. That's Amore.
Every once in a while you get one that can't quite carry the tune as well as most of them. It cracks me up.
It's really funny to listen to some of these people sing after it gets later.
Some people say